Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with a little something a little bit different. I'm making my daughter's birthday card. So I've got a 12 by 12 piece of paper and I'm going to turn it this way because I want those lines vertically. So I'm just going to turn it horizontally and I'm going to cut a bit. About 5 1/4 or 6 inches, just cutting it nearly in half. There might be a bit more on one bit than the other, yeah, so that must be 5 3/4. I think we'll go with that instead of this bigger one. So I hope everyone is well. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my Cockney Craft family. It's really lovely here. Everyone's so nice. Really are so lovely. I've got the best subscribers ever. So yeah, welcome to any newbies. I'm so pleased that you could join us. What I'm doing now is I'm scoring at every 3 inches. So look, you see I've only got a small scoreboard. So just score at 3 and then fold. And then score again. And then I'm going to whip it over and score again. Now I've not took notice of how I'm going to fold this, but it doesn't really matter. I know like you're supposed to score and fold a certain way, but I was just concentrating on getting them in the right place. So now I've got this and I want that out, in and then out, and I'll be left with this like a W. So let's just score. Oh, not score. I'll just burnish those sides so that this ends up as a nice flat card when it's in the envelope. So what I'm going to do, this idea isn't my idea. A lovely lady, I don't know her actual real name, but her channel is Septeria18. I first saw this done on her channel and it excited me so much I've made quite a few of them for like the female members of my family. All slightly different and they've always gone down really well. So what I'm going to be doing first of all, I'm going to be punching by lining up the edges and the creases with either the corner of this green piece here or this green piece here. So I'm going to flip it over so the edges are easier to see, and yeah, we're just working on the bottom at the minute, so I hope you can see well that I've lined up there, and we just punch and then we line the crease up and punch. And we're going to do the same all the way across with the creases until we get to the edge. And what we're making, it's a lovely, you know those old-fashioned dressing room screens? I love those. I've always wanted a bedroom big enough to have one of those, just like ornamental, because I just have always really liked them. Get some really beautiful ones like the old antiques. But yeah, I've never had one, but I think that's why I like doing these cards. Right, so now we're going to be lining up again. First we're going to line up with this edge here, what I'm touching. You see this pointy bit? Well, the bottom of that. And then after that, we're just going to do that at the edges. And then after that, each crease, we're going to try and get central in there. So in the centre of the little arch. So first of all we're going to line up to the outside edge, or inner edge rather. We're going to line up and punch, and we'll do the same on the end this side so we know what we're doing. And then these 3 creases we're just going to go right into the middle. If you can see like that, I hope you can see, but yeah, just line the crease up with the very centre, the little metal bit inside. And then Right, we've done that. Oh, sorry. And then, they're the tops of our screen. We don't need to do no more to that. And then to the bottom, I just go in with my scissors, get it as deep in as I can, and do a small little arc, going from one edge to the other. And I'll just get rid of that little tiny hanging bit. Just carefully, just taking that little bit off. And then we do that in each of them, because like we've got an M shape, haven't we? And so we're just losing the middle bit there. And Sectaria of 18 probably describes this a lot better than me, but I thought it's nice to sort of do a craft with me, doing something different other than the things to go in my journals. Although, like, if you was doing sort of, I don't know, maybe like a fashion journal or something like that, imagine that, like, all decorated as a journaling, great big journaling space, you know, just tucked in. So, I think that'd be really cool. Right, I'm going to ink all the way round, and then I will be right back. Right, so we've got our little card all inked so far, and I just folded that the other way to ink it and then put it back. So it's starting to sort of resemble now one of those dressing room screens. So I'll tell you what I did now. You might not have these, but you might have something similar. Right, I've got a die like this that's got that bit, or you can have like a framed bit like that, those two pieces, and the central bit. So I've cut out a couple of those. I've cut out a couple of just like the outside, just in case I need them. And then I did like the other frame with the ornate bit like that. And I've done them in this lovely green and off-white patterned paper. My daughter, like when she was little especially, her favourite colour was always green. And so I thought this looked quite like a mirror. And so then I had this pack of paper, like, well, of cardstock rather, all these shiny colours, and I got them from the pound shop. There's quite a few different ones. So I used the silver one, and I've just cut out a little bit in the middle to look like a mirror, because maybe there would be a mirror on there. So I did that. But if you haven't got these dies that are similar to this, just have a rummage through your stash, or you can buy books of die cuts like this, and there's loads of different things in these kind of books that I'm sure would be perfect, like, because they're sort of like, they have a vintage look about them. And you can buy these in the pound shop as well. There's a couple of different designs, and I think you can get them in any art supplies place as well. And yeah, they're really handy, because I'm sure you'd find images that you could stick on. The other die I've used a lot of is this one, of a dress form. And it's only small, but that's no problem, because the mirror bit is only small as well. So I've just thought I'd have like one or two of those in the centre. So here they are cut out. If the card's going to be like that when she receives it, I think maybe having the mirror on the front. Right, so that's our front taken care of. A dress form that we're going to decorate. One of these that I'm going to write happy birthday and that onto, and then another dress form. I thought that would look quite cool. So we'll just ink. We'll start inking around all these edges. Right, I started to go round in the green Distress Oxide in the cracked pistachio, and I wasn't keen on that, so I've now gone round in Vintage Photo Distress Ink, and I really like how they look. So let's get them glued down. Where's the glue stick? Rather than keep messing about. Right, because it's just paper to paper, let's get them. Get something to glue on so I don't get everything sticky. And right, this one's going to be the fiddly one of lining it all up, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Right, I'll try and get it centre, which is probably not going to look centre because of the lines. Right. Come on. Right. Let's straighten that up a little bit. Right. Now we've got the middle. So let's get some glue on there. Oops. I don't like these fiddly bits, but then once they're done we get on to the exciting bit of all the decorating. Right, we've got all our pieces glued on and I think they're looking really cool so far. And this is going to be our card. And so now I want to decorate these dress forms. Now what I've done, I had this little net bag, like the girls always give me bits and bobs, well, and the boys, if they find anything or if they've bought anything and it's got something attached that they think, oh, mum will like that, they're always saving bits for me. So these had baby socks in. So I thought that net will be perfect. And what my oldest daughter always does as well is gives me Lily's dresses that she grows out of, like party dresses that have got nice fabric and things. And I had this net off of the bottom, the underskirt of a dress that was Lily's, and it's her mum's birthday tomorrow. And so what I've done, I've had it in green food colouring for the last hour, and I suppose you don't notice that much, but when you put the white up against it you can really see that it's green. So I thought these two would be perfect to use to try and make a little net skirt. So let's have a look what we're going to do. I don't want it all wonky. I might cut a bit off of this edge, not too long. And then we'll have a look what it's going to look like. That might be a tad too long. I think I'm going to cut a bit more off so that we've got the right length. And because these are only small, aren't they? So if we had like a little ruffled skirt, I'm going to grab a needle and thread and we'll see how that turns out. Right, I've got my needle and thread, and I don't want it doubled. I've got my little bit, so we're gonna, is it called a running stitch? I can't remember, I'm not very good at sewing, it's not my strong point, like hand sewing. Oh my gosh, I never do it. What I'm gonna do is go in, out, until I've got what looks like a little skirt. So I'm going to keep going in and out until I've got the amount of fabric that I want. Right, so I've been going in and out, oops, until I'm getting like a little gathered, oh, don't come out, I don't want to re-thread that needle, getting little bits. So I'm going to cut off the excess. Right, where did I last go to? Just that side of that, get rid of that. And then I'm just going to pull it together down at the end so I don't have to re-thread this needle. And then gather it together and just tie it in a knot before it falls off the end. Tie it in a knot and it will pull it in together so it will look like a little kind of ballerina's skirt. Let's see, so I don't want to pull it too much. I'm going to have those bits at the back. That is probably where I want it. So I'm just going to have it like this and then tie it in a knot, trying not to pull it any tighter. and then I can trim off these little bits of cotton, and we've got our first skirt. Right, now we have both of our little skirts. They look a bit weird at the minute, but once we get them glued on, they're going to look really cool. So I'm just evening out the little gathers and making sure that I've got the knot from the cotton at the back. And I'm going to place this one, I've got a big crease there, and right, what I want to do while I'm looking at it, it's lopsided, so I'm going to take some of this fabric off, and then I'll have more of a symmetrical netted skirt. So we'll get the skirt on. Just some glue across the waist, and then place our net. Right, we can come down a little tad, and she's got a lovely pleated, netted kind of ballerina style skirt. We'll come back to that in a minute, because we're going to get this one down in the same way. Right, let's hold that there a minute. Oh, it's come right off. It's just glued itself to my finger instead. Right, come on. It's not wanting to stick down, but that's it. It was wanting more to stick to me. Right, let's get the gather a bit better. Right, now I want to put a bit of trim onto those. So I found this bag in my stash of little tiny gems. So I thought on the white one I'd like some little green gems going across. If I can find them. Right, I found some little green ones. I've sorted them all out. So we want to glue these on, and I know they're going to be really fiddly. So I'll just put in little bits of glue down at a time, because yeah, I'm not great at things like this when it's so fiddly. Sorry if I'm putting my head in frame. Actually, I think I'm going to get some tweezers so I don't stick them to my fingers. No, tweezers are too fiddly for me too. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to get the glue down, and then I'm going to try and drop them on. Just put them in place gently, without, this is what I wanted to avoid, without getting the glue on me. Right, very gently move that into line. I think that's enough across the waist. Maybe that could go that way a bit. Right, I think that is fine for that. Right, so we'll move those green ones, and then for this side I've got these little strip gems. Oh, they're going to be so much easier. So hang on, let's measure first how many, where we want the cut. Yep, we only want 4, so we measure 4 and get the glue down. And this is way easier, isn't it, if you do it like that. And then lay on our diamantes. Oh, let's get them unstuck from my fingers. From they're sticky backed, but I never trust just that sticky back. Like, you need a bit of glue to keep them there permanently. Right, and so now I've got both the skirts done, and we just want to do a little bit of decoration around the edges. Right, I went through these flowers and nothing was quite right. Like, these was too big. Also, this is what I had in mind, but it's too big if it was just a tad smaller. So the only the ones that was the right size was this style, not this colour obviously. I had these in cream and there was that style, but that was it. So I really weren't too keen on that. So then I went through these die cut books again, what I got for £1, and I found these. So I was thinking of having one in the bottom corner there and then one in the top corner there, and they could be overhanging a little bit. That's fine, I actually like that. So that's how I want them, so that there's a bit of an overhang. So I thought we'll just ink these up. I'm going from the back, so because I want the edges but not too much on the front. But I really like the look of these. I have a little bit even there, and that would sit like that. We'll just ink this one, and then I think it's good to go. All I've got to do is make an envelope, but you all know how to do that probably, so I won't do that on camera. I just wanted to get this card done today because yeah, it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow and I wanted her to have something handmade that I know she'll like, and so I think that'll be there and there. So let's get this glue. I won't put it on the outer leaves because they're going to be overhanging somewhat, so just get a bit on the ones in the middle, up the wrong way, right, like that. I like. And the same over here. Look, this glue's running out. Right, just bang in the middle. And there we have it. A really lovely idea. Like I said, it's not my idea, but I just love how they come out. And yeah, I can write there, and I'm really pleased that the little bits of net that I used to make the skirts are from her. One was had the new baby's socks in, and this one was Lily's dress. So yeah, I'm really pleased about that turned out. So I hope you got on alright if you was crafting along with me, or whatever you was working on with, like while we was doing this together. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and if you like my channel, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe. And those of you that are subscribed, thank you so much. I love you lots. And just click the little bell and you'll always know when I've got a new video coming out. So thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Bye bye. Have a great day. Bye.